Women live about 5 years longer than men, but here's what you may not know. A large part of those extra years is spent in poor health. The sex that lives longer is also the one that spends more time unwell. And this holds true in almost every country, across almost every era. It isn't chance. And it isn't only a difference in habits. Scientists have found the answer runs deeper than we thought. In 2025, an international team published in Science Advances the most comprehensive analysis yet. They studied 528 species of mammals and 648 species of birds. In over 70% of the mammals, females outlived males. But in nearly 70% of the birds, the pattern flipped. There, it was often the males who lived longer. And here's the most telling part. This data came from zoos around the world, places where predators, starvation, and harsh climates are mostly taken away. And yet, the sex gap in lifespan was still there. Which means it isn't only about environment, it's rooted deeply in evolutionary history. One important clue comes from the sex chromosomes. In mammals, females have 2 X's, males have 1 X and 1 Y. Having 2 X's may offer a kind of protection. When one chromosome carries a harmful mutation, the other may serve as a backup. Here's the striking part. In birds, the system is reversed. Females are the ones with only 1 copy, and this time, it's often the males who live longer. But scientists also stress that chromosomes can't explain everything. Some species even show the opposite pattern. In many birds of prey, for example, females are both larger and longer lived. So researchers believe the sex gap in lifespan more likely comes from many factors together: genetics, mating strategies, parental investment, and environment. At the cellular level, there are new clues. Some studies suggest that by midlife, women's tissues across several organs look somewhat younger than men's of the same age. But this is still an emerging line of research. But here, the story takes a turn. In 2024, a study published in The Lancet Public Health analyzed, across the world, the burden of the 20 leading causes of disease over 30 years. It found that although women live longer, they spend more of those years in poor health. The conditions that don't kill, but bring long-term illness and disability, musculoskeletal disorders, mental health conditions, and headache disorders, particularly affect women. Men, meanwhile, are more affected by the diseases that cause premature death, and crucially, this gap keeps widening with age. So why do these burdens fall more heavily on women? The reasons are many. Across her life, a woman goes through processes men do not: menstruation, pregnancy, and perimenopause. Among these, perimenopause is an especially important turning point. Research suggests that around menopause, the marked decline in estrogen may accelerate bone loss and joint degeneration. And globally, women live more than 20 years, on average, after menopause, which means health after this point shapes a very long stretch of life. To be clear, these processes are only part of the picture, not the whole explanation. But here is a fact that's easy to miss and deeply important. Much of the health women lose does not come from untreatable disease. It comes from conditions that are non-fatal and often manageable. Loss of muscle, decline in bone, changes in mood and sleep. Chronic pain, these are not a fate to be passively endured. To a large extent, they can be identified, addressed, and managed over time. Take perimenopause. It doesn't have to be only a process of enduring symptoms. It can also be a window that is actively managed. During this stage, paying attention to bone and muscle health and watching for changes in metabolic and cardiovascular risk may help slow part of the long-term health loss. Exactly what to do varies from person to person and should be assessed together with a doctor. Hormone therapy, for example, has evidence for some symptoms in some women, but its benefits and risks depend on the individual and on timing. It isn't a single answer that fits everyone. The real point is the shift from passively enduring to actively managing. But to manage anything, there's a condition. First, you have to be able to see it. For a long time, what women's health truly lacked wasn't treatment. It was the ability to see change before symptoms appear. And that work has already begun. Just as today we can estimate the endocrine age of the ovaries using AMH together with chronological age. When a turning point can be seen earlier, management can begin earlier. So why do women live longer? The answer lies in chromosomes, evolution, and cellular resilience. But the question more worth asking is this: can that longer life also be a healthier one? Women live longer, yet often spend more years unwell, and much of that burden can be seen and managed. For women, the real question may no longer be whether they can live longer, but whether they can see that turning point earlier and begin managing it sooner. This is Research Friday. Every Friday, one question, one piece of science, a new way to understand health and aging.